Hi everyone, this is Pam here, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to learn English in a non-English speaking country. If you are like me and you are facing challenges of how to teach your child English in a community that is not an English speaking country, then these are the tips for you. We know how important English is today, and we can communicate globally, get work globally, and it just opens up so many doors if we know the English language. So how can we learn English language if we are living in a place that is not surrounded by the English language? I put up this question for myself because I have two little boys who are 5 and 7 years old, and I want them to know English. Now, our mother language is Hungarian, so I speak to them as their mom in Hungarian. I have now challenged myself to reprogram this habit of speaking to my children in Hungarian and start to speak with them in English. Why? Because I think if you surround yourself with the language that you want to learn, that's the easiest way to speak it. If you don't have somebody in your family who speaks English, then I think you need to find areas where you can put that language in contact with your child. What we have to know about learning languages is that a child connects a person to a language. There will always be a communication channel between a person and another person. And that language can be anything. So if a child encounters a new person, then they will be speaking whatever that language is created. It is much harder to reprogram this language channel to another one, to a new one. And it's much more difficult for a person to speak two languages with one child. So now I'm going to be throwing out my Hungarian because I've decided that I need to pass on this knowledge. And there's no better way to do this if I already have this knowledge in myself. And I really want to do this and challenge myself. I have given myself 2-year period to do this. So it's something that I'm very determined to do, and I want you guys to follow along and kind of see if it works for you as well. You can learn English with us, and I think it will be very beneficial for your own children. Now, if you don't have an English-speaking person around you, the best way to learn how to speak English or to teach your kids how to speak English is to make a habit of getting a contact with the language. Taking them to an English-speaking course once a week is not gonna be enough because it's not gonna be an effective routine that will sink into their mind. So there won't be a building block effect because their mind will not be able to hold information for such a long period of time. And each time they go back, they will have to repeat it. Language learning is all about repetition. The same way that we learned our mother tongue, our parents repeated the same things over and over again to us in a basic structure. Once we comprehended this, then they started expanding it into more put together sentences. But the basics were just little words to sit up, doggy, or wow, wow, and the things that they could connect in their minds. The same way we're gonna do this with English. If you don't have this, then you should look for ways to connect your child with English-speaking surroundings. Instead of taking them once a week to a language class, try to take them on a daily basis to a language class, if you can do so. If you can't do so, there are other ways. One thing that I suggest everybody to do is to give their children 1 hour of English cartoons daily. This is something that will be very beneficial. I myself, when I opened the language school, I had many people applying for the job of an English teacher. I can tell you that there were people who had a degree in the English language and studied English language for 4 years at university, and their English skills came up very low when compared to a person who spent their time from 5 years old in front of the TV watching English cartoons. The person who just watched cartoons passively absorbed the language without even realizing what they were doing. And their English, their grammar, their structure, everything was much higher level than a person with a 4-year degree. So this is just to compare how effective English learning can happen. And if you implement English language into their daily routine, so if you give them 1 hour of cartoons a day, they will absorb this like little sponges, and you will not even notice, and you won't even need to have the extra effort of taking them to a language class where they're gonna be grinding at the grammar structures and at different words, but they will not connect it. So their brains will not connect these logically to the actions that are taking place. So that's why cartoons are very important. Also, play dates. So if you have somebody who has a child who speaks English in the community, then arrange play dates, because play dates will have that interactive action that is required for a person to connect the words, the foreign words, to the different actions that they're doing. And through the play, this can really quickly escalate into a very fun learning pattern. Also, another thing that you can look into if you are looking at language classes is to have a type of language class that is role play. So where people effectively take pieces and props and kind of have an action-packed class where it's not about just pictures, it's actually living through each action and having the words and the pictures integrated into that learning, but actually getting the children out of their seats and playing out whatever they're learning. So if it's learning about vegetables or fruit, then have a marketplace and start selling fruits and vegetables, like pretend play. How much does this cost? How much is an orange? What does this taste like? Open the orange and smell it, make them taste it. And you're integrating also action words with the new nouns, so the child is getting a whole experience of the language. And it's much easier to logically connect these things together, and it's gonna build the language skills so much faster and so much more efficiently. These are the tips that I have if you are living in a non-English speaking country and you want your child to learn English, or you want to learn English yourself. Get some good cartoons. Peppa the Pig is one of the very great ones because they speak basic English very well. Caillou is also very nice. And all of these children's cartoons which speak to children around 3-4 years old is very good. It's good to start them at this age. And then later they can start watching other cartoons that are of their interests, or shows that are creative that they like to follow, or something about their favorite toy. And whatever interests them, those are the types of videos you can show them, of course with parental control. But whatever interests them is going to spark their curiosity, and they're going to learn the language through that hobby or that interest that they have. These are some of the tips that I have for you. Get a little play partner, so a child in your area who speaks the English language, and arrange play dates. Have English every day part of your child's routine. And if you can, find a language class where they do role play with the integrated material, so they're not learning just raw picture word combination and dry heavy grammar, but taking those parts and playing it out in different scenarios is one of the best ways to get the children to logically connect the actions with the words that they're learning. So these are the things I suggest for you, and I hope you have a very successful language learning experience. You can also follow us and see our own challenge of learning English, and how I, as a mother, will teach my kids English as their second language. So hope you follow that, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, bye.